if you miss the class, you can see the presentation again in the YouTube later on. Yeah. Okay. Today we are going to focus on the. Let me share first the content. Yeah. Okay. The first topic that we are going to that you all going to listen is about the design and implementation of intelligent transportation systems. Right? This is going to be our first chapter. Okay. Let us go to the first part, which is the definition of intelligent transportation system. Okay. So basically, an intelligent transportation system, or ITS, is a technology, application, or platform that improve the quality of transportation. Okay, it can be achieved. It can be achieved on the other outcome based on application that monitor, manage, or enhance transportation system. Right. Last time we have transportation system, but nowadays we talk about intelligent transportation system, right? In which it is the next level of the paradigm shift of transportation system, right? And of course, it relies heavily on data collections and its analysis, because when we talk about intelligent transportation, it is a system that can provide us a solution, can help us in terms of decision making, right? So once the system is built to collect the data and analyze, right, we use the data, the result out of these, out of the data that we collect from the transportation, we are going to use to control the transportation, to manage, and also to plan for better transportation system, right? Okay, before we go ahead, let us discuss what is actually, when we talk about intelligent, what is the main item that is make it is intelligent, right? So in the context of intelligent transportation systems, sensors play an important role in data collection, right? Sensor basically is a technology in which is being implanted inside any devices, right? As you can see from here, right? This is actually sensor devices here. Sensor, maybe this one is a chipboard, right? Is connected to one of the maybe this one is some biotechnology stuff here, right? Okay, it is going to collect and detect what are the things that is happening inside here, right? So in a bigger picture, you can see from the left side, right, the internet and all the devices implanted, right? The sensor implanted, it has the sensor node to detect a wide variety of the real world properties, whether it's from the context of distance, heat, or pressure, and many more, right? That's why sometimes when we talk about the transportation, like traffic system, okay, traffic information systems, right? Sometimes you can see the intelligent traffic system. Once there is no car, it will calculate the movement of the car based on the numbers of car that is actually exist on the road, right? If there is no car, it will turn the lights from red to green immediately, something like this. So how does this happen? It's through a sensor technology, right? From the sensor, it can detect, and all the acquired information will be transferred into maybe into a computer, or maybe some to the internet, for the for the whole brain of the system making a decision for a transportation, for betterment, for instance, right? So this sensor acquire information by detecting the physical, chemical, or biological properties, quantities, and convert them into a readable signal. It's going to change all the information, all the data that received into a readable signal, right? Okay, so from this slide, you can see that all the roads lately, our the roads, basically the city roads, are being pressured with a growing urban population. Numbers of population, numbers of cars, numbers of people increase from time to time. Okay, in Malaysia nowadays, the numbers of population in Malaysia also is like more than 30 million already. Okay, and somebody, the government, the agency need to manage this, need to manage the transportation, need to manage the people. So from here you can see some of the list of intelligent transportation application, right? Okay, the real-time parking management. Okay, real-time parking. Okay, if you go to the parking management system, if you go to the big shopping mall, they have some, you know, the it's like a traffic light system where they have the green and red sensor to monitor in terms of the numbers of parking available inside the parking area, right? Electronic toll collections, you can see that, you know, they have the RFID. Okay, you have to put some sticker on your at the front part of the car, right? To, if you want, some of the, you know, some of the toll in Malaysia, they have this system, right? So once you go along the sensor, then it is going to deduct your money from your apa, maybe if you register into a apa ni apa smart apa nama ni, apa nama tu ke sistem tu yang apa tu smart apa, dia check. Touch and Go kan, Touch and Go e-wallet, is going to deduct your money, right? Emergency vehicle notification system. Some company they have this to notify the movement of the vehicles. Okay, automated road speed enforcement, right? In some countries they have this, like Japan and Korea. They have the road automated enforcement system, which is if your car drive more than the speed limit, they will be they will notify the enforcement to stop you, right, and to summon you, right. The speed alerts, I think this is common. You see the apa, yang jaga yang apa, all these apa nama ni, camera, RFID in freight transportation. This is considered, this RFID now is growing, where most of the logistic company, the truckers, they have some RFID to monitor the goods and the freight that are go into the company, go into the warehouse. The variable speed limit, the dynamic traffic light sequence, as mentioned just now, right? Collision avoidance system. Normally, this collision avoidance system, they embedded inside the car. Okay, some car that is a luxury car like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, they have this, collision avoidance system where if they will give some signal if you're driving so fast, or you're driving so near to the front car, it give you some signal to slow down your car. So those are the system, the intelligent transportation that embedded, that will help improve the efficient, to make the system efficient. Yeah. All right. So this is some of the example. I just want to show you, okay, example of this intelligent transportation that exists in the market, right? The Galileo system, which is this one, I managed to grab this thing from the UK system. Yeah, they have this thing, right? We call it for the satellite system that connected to the system in their command center. They call this satellite system Galileo. Incident detection, right? Variable speed limits gain, RAM control. They have this traffic signal control, parking management again, demand responsive transport management, fleet and fleet management, right? Some of the pictures you can see here, all right? These common things happen also in Malaysia. Vulnerable road user systems, puffin crossing, something like this, you know. In some advanced country, they have this road user system. Later, you can do some investigation on this, do some more exploration, what is actually vulnerable road user systems, you know. You can monitor the movement of the public transportation, or something like this. Okay. Multimodal trip planning, okay. From sea freight, from air freight to sea freight to the land transportation, right? So all this multimodal, how to change from one mode of transportation, from water, from land back to the air. So those things is they have this system that manage all the containers, passenger information systems, right? Route guidance and navigation. This is something that you are already well versed. You use these systems every time that you want to search for a place, right? To search for a guidance to your destination. Speed detection, variable message signs and route guidance, road user charging, public transport payment system. Those are these what we call an intelligent transportation system, whereby it's combined of this sensor technology and also the internet that connected all this information, and at the end of it, making a good decision for you for a better transportation, right? Okay, let us reflect. How does an intelligent transportation system work, right? From the illustration, you can see some of the important things there from the perspective of the travelers, from the context of emergency, from the context of transit, and the traffic. The traffic is the data center lah, right? So the flow on how the ITS work in general, right? So the first one, of course, in terms of the collections of data, right? The hardware in which the sensor, the camera, the GPS is going to collect the data. Okay, the data type basically the traffic count, the surveillance, the speed and time, location, vehicle weight, delays, so on and so forth. It depends on what kind of information that you need in order for you to make a better decision for a better transportation performance, right? And then all this data collected will be transmitted into the next level, which is whether it's a rapid or real time, or it's a batch by batch. Okay, but most of the time when we talk about intelligent, of course, the data transmitted real time data. Okay, and in the data will be transmitted between the road and the traffic management center. Okay, the road itself and the traffic management center, they must have this we call a data center. In Malaysia, you can find the data center from at the Suruhanjaya Pengangkutan Awam, SPAD, Suruhanjaya Pengangkutan Awam Darat. If that the context of the monitoring of this monitoring, the mode is land transportation, it is under the the governance of SPAD, nama Suruhanjaya Pengangkutan Awam Darat, right? But when we talk about land, when we talk about water, okay, water transportation, of course, it is port, under the port punya port punya administration. Okay, but if you talk about the air, is under the DCA lah. Okay, the DCA stand for apa? Control, DCA is syarikat perniagaan awam lah. The Center for Managing the Air Transportation, the DCA, right? And then after the data transmitted, the data will be analyzed to detect whether there's some errors, to rectify the errors, for data cleaning, for the synthesis, and for making a good making decision, which is the adaptive of logical analysis, which is involved the some matters of algorithm to make sure that whatever that reflecting the situation will be analyzed accordingly based on the performance of the transportation, right? And data will be transmitted back to the traffic management center and into the traveler, back to the traveler, because at the end of it, the data that will be that being captured, that will be gathered, is go back to the traveler or the user, because they want to make a decision whether to improve or to clear up the road. And there are many ways of decision making, correct? And all this information, at the end of it, okay, it become the intelligent information, because real-time information like travel time, travel speed, delay, accident on roads, change in route, diversion, work zone, conditions delivered. It will be delivered by a wide range of electronic devices like variable message signs, highway, advisory radio, internet, SMS, or automated cell, right? So all this information, all this data that being transformed, become an information, that this information will help the traveler and will be disseminated, will be sent back to the traveler in many ways, science, radios, internet, SMS, and many more. Sometimes sometimes people use a Facebook, okay, to aware the traveler, the road user, about accident happen, right? Sometimes you use the like a GPS, maybe you use apa ni, yang you all selalu guna tu, yang dekat apa, Waze kan, to make a decision in which road that you want to use, for instance, right? So this is actually how the flows of the system of the information, of this intelligent transportation system, right? So one of the case study that you can see here is under the Toyota Intelligent Transportation System. Okay, you can see from the YouTube here that is like glance through what is happening inside this YouTube, right? Wait, huh? Okay, let us see together about this. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I think for those who cannot hear the apa, the sound, you can later hear it from my slide in which I'm going to upload inside your learning portal. All right. But anyway, this is actually a case study of a Toyota intelligent transportation system in which they have developed in one of the place in Japan and in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken, right? So this system is considered high-tech system in which involve the improvement of that particular city. They change everything, the infrastructure, the cabling, and also the car itself. It is interconnected between the car and also the devices that has installed in all the places there, right? It's one of the futuristic things, lah, right? Okay, on that note, let us see from the perspective of Malaysia itself, right? Intelligent transportation for Malaysia's smart city vision, right? Okay. Later you watch from the video. Okay, you do some comparison what is happening inside Japan and what we have here in Malaysia. If you look at on the right side of this, the blue panel here, right? You can see that if you compare in terms of traffic congestion among in the Southeast Asia countries, right? Among 8 countries in Southeast Asia, you can see that Malaysia is ranked number 3 from the bottom lah. I mean, from the best lah. From the best one is actually 30 minutes coming from Singapore. The traffic average time spent every day. So it means to say that what is actually the average time that you spend inside the car when the traffic congestion happen, right? So Singapore is one of the best one in the Southeast Asia region, right? And the bottom part goes to Bangkok, which is 72 minutes. It is this one is considered the capital city, and oh sorry, Hong Kong also here. So this is considered Asia region because Hong Kong here. All right. So from here you can make your own judgment in terms of what is the level of the transportation infrastructure that we have in Malaysia, right? So in average, if you're in Kuala Lumpur, you're going to start average 53 minutes if the congestion happen, if the traffic jam happen, right? You're going to spend at least 53 minutes before the jam is solved, right? So why does this happen basically, right? You can see that Malaysia is considered the 3rd highest level of car ownership globally, number 3 in the world. Looking at the size of the country and the size of the populations, right? So you cannot compare like Malaysia and China. China is the biggest country in the world, right? But Malaysia is considered small country right? It's area and population, right? So Malaysia considered 3rd highest level of car ownership globally. So 93% of Malaysian household own and utilize at least one car. Maybe you guys have more than 3 cars. Your parents have like 5 cars, for instance. Kan? Okay, siapa ada lebih pada 10 kereta? Anyone here got more than 10 cars? Of course lah, if you have more, if you are staying together, your brother and sister staying together with your family, of course, you know, maybe you inside the house, you know, ada mungkin more than 5 cars, for instance, right? So you can see that the households at least has one car. This is the average, 93%. It's almost 100% of Malaysian, right? And in 2017, road accident for vehicle was 66.5%, meaning to say that for every vehicle, for one vehicle, okay, road accident per vehicle maybe one vehicle, it might have, let's say, at least um, half of the year having an accident. Okay, at least one car is almost that one car must face an accident, right? Just imagine. But it is actually the statistic was in KL lah, in KL lah, right? So one car in KL, at least in a year, half of the car will face an accident. Just imagine, right? And also, it increased the level of environmental degradation and reducing the efficiency. Most of the time, with the new technology that brought by the inventors, it talks about the energy efficiency and performance efficient from the perspective of environmental efficiency, from the perspective of environment and performance efficiency. The car have good performance, but efficient in terms of the in terms of the use of the consumption of oil and gas, the gas consumption, the oil, right? So these are the things. The improvement next time, maybe we can see that no more use of petrol. Okay, the road is going to the road is going to be utilized by electric car, okay, or hybrid car. No more petrol use, because to reduce the pollution, the environmental degradation, right? And those are the next level of the transportation. Okay, let us see what is actually inside the smart city, the 11th Malaysia plan, which is the focus of it, right? So basically, the 11th Malaysia plan, the blueprint of it, if you go and search from the Google, you can see the 11th Malaysia plan with regard to the transportation system. So what I can manage to summarize is there are three main points there with regard to the transportation, right? They want to focus in terms of utilizing and integration of multiple technologies, in which not only talking about the technologies with regard to the transportation, it will be multiplied, will be connected with other technologies as well, right? Like, for example, the internet, and also the road system, right? So it's not on people can if they want to go to the road, people can depend on the internet. Before they want to go to the road, they can check the performance of the road, the congestion level from the internet, or what are the alternative of roads. Okay, what are the choices that they have in terms of public transportation before they go to the road, before they want to go to their destinations, right? And those are the things. Utilizing and integrations of multiple technologies, right? The second part is actually vehicle to vehicle information coordination, right? These are the things that the government will be focused, right? Depends on the economical performance, right? So nowadays you can see that there are some issues of the political instability, as well as the COVID-19 matters, right? So maybe this has reduce the performance or the movement of the master plan. They delayed the master plan, maybe, right? But everything was in order, was being discussed, was being deliberate clearly before, right? If you can search from this 11th Malaysia plan in terms of the transportation, the ideas, right, to make Malaysia one of the Malaysia, especially Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and some of the capital city in Malaysia, right, to become to become a smart city was in place. But this is just a matter of economical performance, our economic performance. Things become worse because of these two matters lah, political instability and also the COVID-19 matters, right? So, utilizing and integration of multiple technologies, is vehicle-to-vehicle information coordination was in place, was being discussed, was being deliberate, and also to improve operational efficiency and passenger satisfaction, right? To make sure that whatever the feedbacks, the complaints from the passenger will be improved. Okay, those are the system that's going to be in place later on, right? But anyway, it is no point to have a good ideas, but you are unable to articulate it. This is my always I when I talk to the students, this is a very important point. It's not it is not no point to have a good ideas, a well planned, but if we are not able to implement, to articulate these things, so maybe you are going to be the next generation that's going to make all these ideas, this plan successful, to realize this idea. Okay, all right. So Malaysia launched its intelligent transportation blueprint, system blueprint for the year 2017 into 2020, which is consists of first IoT, Internet of Things, okay, cloud computing, big data analytics. You have heard about these jargon words, big data, those things. Okay, you have always listen or heard about these about these all these keywords, big data analytics, those things, but it's already launched inside Malaysia Blueprint, right? Spatial geographic information integration, right, in the smart city, right? Mobile apps that help consumer make more informed transportation choices. Nowadays we have these Grab, you have Uber, or maybe you have Food Panda, all these mobile apps that help you making a good decision, and also to make to make the consumer more efficient, right? More choices, right? Okay, so this is some of the things that I managed to captured inside those important matters with regard to the intelligent transportation system in Malaysia perspective, in the Malaysia context. Okay, so Malaysia they are making a lot of this public-private partnership with other countries, or maybe with the prominent industry, prominent company in the world. Okay, for example, in 2018, okay, Malaysia City Brain Project, okay, which is being launched by MDEC, had signed ink up a memorandum with Alibaba to optimize traffic, parking, and better manage energy, right? So that last time you see that Alibaba, Jack Ma come to Malaysia, maybe they have some ideas in terms of developing the Kuala Lumpur, they have some ideas in terms of making, you know, Kuala Lumpur for a better place to become Kuala Lumpur smart city, right? And under this Malaysia City Brain project also, they have come up with this 5G, okay? 5G, IoT, and AI infrastructure into being embedded into the future traffic network. Okay, they want to connect it, all the devices, the cars, the street lights, the cameras, utilities, building, right, using a faster network connection, because they want to transfer a lot of data to make a decision there. Okay, and when the project completed, it will include the ecosystem of business, organizations, government, okay, in installing a large scale computing engines, right? And also to optimize the traffic flow, generate structures, summary data such as traffic volume, speed, and many more, right? So these are some of the things, yeah. I think I ada lagi. Also, MDEC also signing MOU with e-hailing company like Grab, right? Back in 2017 during the SEA Games, right? For them to for them to manage to mitigate the traffic congestion. Okay, under this partnership, Grab will help in terms of providing the data, traffic data to the Kuala Lumpur administration, mungkin Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, okay, Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, and all the information will be shared on the Grab's GPS. Okay, so you can see that the Grab also, you can monitor the movement of the car, movement of your Grab drivers from your handphone. So you can plan your time before you go to the whatever that the drop or place that you want to get the ride from the Grab. You can plan your time. Okay, what is actually the time frame that you want to make sure that you come to that particular place, so you can avoid the congestion, right? And Penang also on their way to smart city roadmap. Okay, if you can see, just find from the Google about the smart city roadmap for Penang. You can see some of the information about this, right? It involved with the local telco infrastructure service company, right? Smart bus stop, so on and so forth. So these are all these examples, yeah? Right. And for all you know, ITS is not limited within the transportation area, right? We're not talking about transportation itself, right? It also involves logistic matters, right? Like from what you have seen inside this illustration, cheaper carrier consignee, those we talk about the water transportation, right? So the system that there is a system that managing all these things, managing the shipper, managing the carrier, managing the consignee, right? So we have to broaden our aspect, broaden our mindset. Okay, it's not about the transportation, physical itself. Okay, on the road, it also involves other matters, because you can see from this slide also, right? It involves when we talk about information system, it involves many items here, right? Accounting information system, customer relationship management, right? Travel reservation database, e-commerce, online banking, so on and so forth. It is actually interconnected matters, interconnected things, right? For example, in order for you to manage the transportation transaction, specifically for the logistics, shipper and consignee, shipper and the customer, consignee to customer, right? Shipper needs purchase order, forecast, equipment availability, possible pickup times. Carrier needs bill of lading, information to pick up and delivery times. Receiver needs advance shipment notice. Okay, need shipment status information. Shipper receive needs depend upon terms of sale, freight bill, freight bill, claims, carriers need payment information. Those are the things that managed by information systems, by the intelligence system as well, because it involves data, and this data need to be managed well, and it's going to be an information, and later people making a decision, right? Typical information system application with regard to the logistic matters. For instance, you have this EDI, barcoding to do the scanning, track and trace, especially in the warehouse operation, right? Imaging matters, what is happened, basics, ID, barcoding, EDI become conventional already. So what is actually imaging right now? What are the things happen right now, right? EPC tax, the transportation planning, the internet, right? Because nowadays, if you order if you want to make order from Lazada or Shopee, of course you need internet, and also you're going to monitor the movement of your product, the movement of it. Where does this, let's say you buy most of the products from Shopee or Lazada, it will be coming from China, maybe 50 to 60%. So you can see, once you order, you make an order, the point that you make an order, you can see the movement of it. Okay, the movement of your products or the movement of the goods that you order from the point of the seller, then it go to the shipment, and then receive in Malaysia levels, and then go to your doorstep, right? Those are the things you can see from the scorecard, or the information that is under that particular system, right? So what is actually the future? Data on warehousing, internet intelligent applications, transparent EDI, data warehousing, those things. Right? When we talk about future is about making a better decision, okay, to optimize the cost, to optimize the delivery time, to optimize the manpower setting, to optimize in terms of the to reduce the bureaucracy, for instance. Those are the things when we talk about future. So this thing, as I mentioned before, when we talk about intelligent, of course, involve sensors. It involves internet. It involves some data gathering. It involves a database. It involves the how the system is going to collect the information and analyze it in logical manner. Okay, and then for the seller or for those who are involved, who are responsible for that, to making a better decision, right? All right, things to highlight. Few things that we can discuss, right? Oops. Habis dah ni, sikit lagi. Don't worry. I know you have class after this. You have back-to-back class. From one point to another point class, right? Some of you have class before this. Some of you might have class after this, and some of you might have class from morning until evening, right? I know the constraint, but I try my best to summarize this, right? So things that we can discuss later on. Maybe you talk about in your town or city, what are your transportation objective? What do you want your transport system to achieve, and how do you want it to improve? Things to ponder. Okay. You have to look yourself from the perspective of inventor or entrepreneur. Okay. You cannot say that you are going to, after this, you finish your degree, you want to work with other people. Yes, having a good grades is one point of to secure your job. Okay, but like I say in the last class, having good grades but you're not able to articulate it, no points, right? You need to think one step ahead of your other colleagues, other friends, right? You need from what angle you can improve yourself, you can innovate yourself, and you can make a good decision on maybe creating your own company, okay, establishing your own company, right? And you make you create more jobs to other people, right? So these are the things that you have to think about it, right, for your future undertakings. Right? First, in your town, what are your transport objectives? What do you want your transport system to achieve, and how do you want it to improve? Is there any way that you can improve your hometown transportation system? Okay, from what you have seen so far, how could the intelligent transportation system help you to achieve your objective? Maybe you want to make a system that can help in terms of to reduce the accident, okay, in your city, in your town. Okay. Does ITS provide many ways to reduce energy consumption for your transport? Maybe you think about on how to measure the energy consumption. You have a system that can help you to make a decision. Oh, you cannot use this kind of car in your city. Can use this kind of car. So lorry can only come to my hometown this time, because if more lorries come to your town, it will create more pollutions. So how to measure this? How to monitor this? Does it need a system? You are the one that going to develop the system later on, maybe. Okay? And this thing, you cannot think alone. You have the ideas of transportation supply chain. You are the logistician. You need to combine your energy, combine your expertise with other people that have their experts. For example, when you talk about IT, you need to connect it with IT people, because IT people might not know what are the context, what are the issues. You are the logistic, you know the issues. You need someone that has experts in doing the systems, like IT people, like the programmers, whatever, and connect with them. This is what you call a collaborations. Right? Jack Ma is an English teacher, right? He's not an IT expert. He's not a programmer, but he can manage to take a pool of people with him to motivate them and create Alibaba. And now Alibaba become multi-billion dollars company, right? Something like this. Okay. Okay. The third issues, things to highlight. Not many RTS project properly evaluated. What do they achieve? From what the system that has developed, how many that is, successful, right? ITS can be very expensive, like smart car, but maybe the smart car is not a solution for congestion. Maybe other things. Those things need to be evaluated, right? So those are the things that I highlight to you for you to think, to ponder, right? Okay. So I think it's going to be continued later, my lecture. But before that, right? Since next week is going to be our holiday, Kamis, Thursday, no more class, and no class, of course lah. We only have Monday, but in actual, Thursday is considered a public holiday because Maulid Nabi and Maulid Rasul, right? So I have some assignment to you guys, but this one, as I said, is going to be the next week, not this week. Not this coming Thursday, the next Thursday, right? So I'm going to give someone to talk about things, right? I'm going to call upon his name. Please raise your hand, and I'm going to give you a topic. These people that I call, you are going to present in next coming, not this coming Thursday, in the next Thursday. Anyway, on the 5th of November. On the 5th of November, right? Okay. First one, Lam Wei Jing. Is Lam Wei Jing is here? Can you please raise your hand? Or maybe you can respond to me. Lam Wei Jing, where's Lam Wei Jing? Lam Weng Jing.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, Lam Weng Jing, I give you assignment on IoT. IoT, you discuss about IoT. Prepare maybe some slides. Maximum is 7 minutes only, right? 7 minutes only about IoT in transportation or anything about IoT. Okay. Okay. Next is Muhammad Ihsan. Is Muhammad Ihsan around? Muhammad Ihsan?
Yes, Doctor.
All right, Muhammad Ihsan, you are going to do a big data analytics in transportation. Okay. Muhammad Ihsan, big data analytics, right? Okay, next one is Lim Ziqing. Where is Lim Ziqing? Is Lim Ziqing around?
Yes, Doctor.
Cloud computing. You are cloud computing.
Okay.
Right. The next one is Tanya Sri. Is Tanya Sri?
Yes, Doctor. Yeah.
Okay. You to do geographical information.
Again, sir, sorry.
Partial geographical information system. You're going to talk
Actual
about
geographical information system.
no spatial, SPATIAL, spatial geographical information system.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Next one is Anessa Raihana. Anessa mana? Anessa Raihana.
Ya, saya.
RFID in freight transportation.
RFID in
Freight transportation. Freight
Okay.
transportation.
trade transportation.
Yes. RFID in freight transportation.
Okay. Thank you.
The next one is Evelyn Lai. Where is Evelyn? Evelyn, are you around? Evelyn? Evelyn Lai, are you around? Evelyn Lai? Evelyn Lai, are you around? Evelyn, please feedback to me later. You are going to do the automated assessment, right? Okay, Afiq, wait, Afiq, is Afiq around?
Ya, Doktor.
Okay, Afiq, we're going to do about speed alert system.
Apa, Doktor?
Speed alert system.
Sangkut-sangkut, Doktor.
Speed alert system.
Oh, masih, Doktor.
Okay, speed alert system. Logasha, where is Logasha? Is Logasha around?
Yes, doctor.
Alright, you are going to do, you are going to present on the EPC tax. EPC tax.
I can't get it, doctor.
EPC tax. EPC tax. You are going to discuss
EPC technology.
EPC tax. EPC EAGS. EPC EAGS tax. EPC tax.
Is it tax, doctor? TEXT?
EPC tax. Please refer to the chat. Please refer to the chat. EPC tax. Right? Okay, last but not least, Chok Yok Chin. Where is Chok Yok Chin? Can you respond? Chok Yok Chin, can you respond to me, please? Chok Yok Chin, can you refer to me, please? Can you respond?
Yes, doctor.
Right, you're going to do a track and trace system.
Hey,
And
doctor, I can't hear you.
track and trace system.
Track and?
Track and trace system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, before I end, so you guys have to be prepared like a 7 minutes presentation. Okay, whatever you want to present, whether you want to present just straight away talk or you want to have your slides, depends, right? 7 minutes only, right? The first person will be Lam Weng Jing, right? So Lam Weng Jing is going to introduce herself and then you start the presentation. Later is going to be continued by the next person, in which I'm going to arrange the names. So I'm end. The last person, which is Chok Yok Chin, after you present, you have to need to the close, and then we wrap up. So, so those are the things. This is going to happen in next class Thursday, 5th November, right? 5th November, right? Okay, guys.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sure. Is that-
I think because your voice is being redundant by Tayan Sri there, you can actually mute her by yourself so that your voice.
Okay.
Okay. Then now your voice is clear because your voice is being redundant and people can't hear you clearly.
Right. Okay. Good. Okay. Let me repeat again. Now it's 11:30. Give me like half a second. Half a minute, right? Those who are presenting, you need to prepare your presentation, whether it's a presentation like a straightaway presentation like this, or maybe you want to have your slides. There is only 7 minutes slide, 7-minute presentation. Okay, 7-minute presentation. The first person that is going to present, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is Lam Wei Ying. You need to do some introduction, then you proceed with your presentation and invite the next person, right? and then goes to another person and continue. Okay, so from this, you can the last person in which presenting is going to do the closing, which is Chok Yok Chin is going to do the closing, and we wrap up, finish, right? So this is actually the way that I'm going to evaluate yourself, your participation inside the WebEd class, right? I think that's about it. My presentation can be seen inside my YouTube later on, right? You can,
Doktor,
I think, yep.
doktor nak manual attendance, doktor.
Okay, I'm going to open back the attendance list, right? You can do the
Okay, doktor.
apa ni. Right then, thank you very much.
So,
Doctor.
Doctor, can I confirm back my topic? It's State Geographical Information System, right?
Okay, look at my
Tanya Triga.
look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Okay.
Huh?
Doctor, I have a
Huh?
question.
Kenapa? Tu tanya
Doctor,
Yeah, doctor. Okay, thank you so much, doctor.
Alright. Okay. Okay, more questions? No problem. Anyone want to ask questions?
doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah, please. Carry on.
I'm just curious about the notes. Are you gonna upload the note at OL before the class or after the class?
Normally after the class. Normally you want me
Is
to
it-
upload earlier?
Yeah, if it possible, I would like you to upload it before the class because it's much for me that's how I focus in class. So that because I have the notes already.
Okay, I'll try my best later on. Alright. Thank you for that.
Thank you, doctor. Also, I have another question about the individual assignment, doctor.
Yeah.
You said like we have to just follow the formatting of the assignment, right? So
Mhm.
that is one person that asked you about the methodology. You said you just do whatever you understand based on the topic, right?
Yes.
So is it possible for me to not have literature review and methodology, just straight on the content? Of course, I'm gonna upload the abstract. Is it okay?
It's okay because you are not doing a research. You are doing an investigation. You know, you do some exploration, then you report what you've read from the website or from the internet.
All
Okay.
right, got it, doctor.
It's not necessarily what the process that you've seen from the journal basically is the process of journal which involves some matters of literature, research methodology. This is actually a research process, but in your case, you're just doing some academic readings, right? And you are transforming whatever that you have read into a journal's format. That's it. No need to have specific items like research methodology, literature, those things. But literature, of course, is common things because literature is something that you are doing. You read from the reviews, from the authors that already talk about that particular topic. Okay, but maybe you have a specific topic. For example, when we talk about transportation intelligence, you have some specific topics on that: the application, the systems, the processes, or maybe the governance of it, thing like this, right? So not necessarily following my examples basically is in terms of the format. I want you to arrange all the write-ups based on that particular format. That's it.
All right, doctor.
Okay, clear?
All right. Clear. Thank you, doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, Moga Napriya, asking about literature reviews is all about reviews from other sources. Yes, exactly. Literature reviews is considered you are reviewing the literature. Literature is referring to readings. Okay, literature is readings. Okay, reading materials, academic reading materials. Literature can be a form of journal, white papers, maybe some websites, news cutting. Okay, that is literature. Okay, So literature sometimes it's something that common things lah, or compulsory thing. Of course, you read academically when you write, you're doing a literature reviews about the particular topics. Okay, so when it comes to the writings, just follow the format. Not necessarily has to have a specific research methodology, because you don't do research. You do an exploration study, research. You are doing readings, not research. Okay, I'm not asking you to do research. I'm asking you to read and you convert whatever you read into that. But make sure you do the paraphrasing, you rephrase, not copy 100% from the materials. Methodology can consider content if you do a research, because when you do a research, a specific research on it, so what kind of methodology that you use, whether it's quantitative or qualitative. If you do a quantitative, what are the steps that you're taking? Are you doing that in your research, in your assignment? No, you're not doing a research. Why you want to put a methodology, right? Okay. Someone asking me, so it can consider as content. Depends on the situation. If you do a specific, if the assignment itself, you do a research, a mini research on it, then you have to specify your methods on how you're doing the process of it. But if you don't do research on that particular topic, I don't need that. I don't need the methodology. Why? Because methodology is just affect things in your context lah. You just write it back. Whatever that you've read, what you understand, what you believe, write it back. But according to that particular template. Okay? Mogna Priya. Okay? I'm answering your question? Okay, Evelyn Lai, you are doing the
Doctor.
automated
I cannot hear.
Come again?
Huh?
What is that?
Because just now I cannot hear clearly. So
Okay, no problem. I will repeat your topic. No problem, Evelyn. Automated road speed enforcement. Automated, let me write here on the chat. Automated road speed enforcement. Okay, got it? Evelyn, you got it?
Thank you, sir.
Right, good. What else? Okay, Shalini asking about individual assignment 3 to 5 pages. Okay, just follow the format that I give you. I think it's maximum is 5. Okay lah. Include the references. Shalini, include the references. Or maybe you want to have 7 pages. Okay, but not more than 10. Not more than 10. Should be not more than 10. Okay. Please follow the format. That's my. I would like to emphasize that. Please follow the format. Not necessarily the subtopics, methodology. Not necessary. Format, not the title. Format. Okay. Format is just the title, arrangement of the titles. Okay. The AP styles, the divisions of the write up. Sometimes some of the students, they write like 1 whole page, but inside that journals sample, you have to divide it. This side and this side. Please refer to that. Do we have turn-in check for the assignment? I'm going to do the random turn-in check. I'm not going to, of course lah, mati lah nak check semua kan. You have 91 students to check, but I'm going to do a random check, right? I have a turn-in punya access. Okay, I have the username password. Okay, I can check everybody turn in. But if you're not lucky, I check you're more than 20, consider your mark will be that gone marks lah, gone case. Right, anything else before we end? Have you do the scanning, your attendance scanning? Finish up. Any question else? Ada yang tak jawab lagi tak? Check. I hope that I have already answered all the questions and if feedback to you. Or if you have anything, you just can ask me inside the WhatsApp. I don't have. I'm more than happy to answer. Right? I think that's about it. I think we have another class. We stop the discussion here. Okay. See you back next week on Monday. But please be prepared for those who are being assigned for the assignment. And assignment, forget the 30th of October. And also your those who are being selected for the presentation, please be prepared. Right, guys? I think that's about it. Thank you very much. See you again. Okay, adios. Bye.
Good.
Yeah.